This week, the PTV crew takes a look inside a high-tech portable paint booth, learns about nanoparticle lubrication, accessorizes a classic truck, and polishes it all off with a magic elixir. Next on Performance TV, presented by Topcoat.
Welcome to Performance TV presented by Topcoat. I'm Dave Dobson, in for Kathy and Joe. Now, I'm normally the host of Motorhead Garage. That's coming up in July. In the meantime, here's a little sample of what we do on Performance TV's sister show. When there's a classic Chevy truck in the shop, usually means one thing. Brothers Trucks is in the house, and I'm with Steve Flanders. So we're going to get schooled today, whether it's on the vehicle repair or basically today on the table, demystifying these wire harness. Steve, man, these things can get confusing.
They can, and that's why I brought these today, to take some of the question marks out of purchasing a wiring harness when you're building your vehicle, whether you're going with a full restoration or a full customization. The wiring harnesses are available for all the way across that spectrum, and let's just talk about what we have.
Yeah, and you guys got three, different levels. Let's say, big tech, medium tech, anybody.
Basically, anyone could do any one of these. It's really just a matter of how much customization and flexibility you have within the harness itself. So starting with this first one, this would be your full spectrum, wide open, customized harness. It comes with all the connectors that it needs to have to make it plug to itself, but at the far end of those connectors is where you really get your flexibility. You get your ability to use custom tail lights or custom door poppers if you're taking your handles off, or you're going to add an air ride system or something like that. So you get all the flexibility in this harness, but you get some of the plug and play features too that make it kind of easier. But this would be the most work you'd have to do, but also the most flexible.
Now in your sets as a master tech, this is huge, folks. We're talking about the wire harness. You can go ahead and wire it all, that's great, but look at, you're getting the circuit breakers, the flashers, the little rubber conduits for your alternator, butt connectors, spade connectors, dimmer switches, ignition switches, relays. It's all right here. These are in both sets, so not only is it a wire harness, you're really doing a whole overhaul of the electrical system.
Right. I guess these are targeted towards people that are doing a full build. Right. So everything that you see over there also comes in this kit. The difference between that kit and this kit is vehicle specific. This one at the far end, you've already got your parking light connectors, your tail light connectors. Your fuse block bulkhead's going to have the proper connector for your ignition switch, and so on and so forth. So this one is far more plug and play, but also offers you that flexibility to expand the system, add those features like I mentioned before, air ride, air conditioning, say power windows, or any other stuff that people are doing when they're customizing their vehicle.
And you don't have to be a master tech. That's the cool part. The schematic's right in the box, and it's not a schematic with white wires. It's a color schematic that tells you right front turn, left front turn. You just string that thing out, you put it right there, and like you said, Steve, imagine trying to get that old bulb and that socket out. It's never going to happen. You got it right there.
The lengths are all proper too, so you're not chasing down the wire and trying to shorten it up and make it work. On this harness, it's vehicle specific, so it just plugs right in.
Now for me, I just want to go ahead and get it. I don't have a lot of accessories. You got it.
Right, so this is my speed right here. Since most of my vehicles are stock, the stock harness doesn't offer a lot of flexibility, as you know, but what it does offer is a lot of convenience. So these harnesses are entirely 100% factory. The great thing about this is the factory harness was modular. So your forward light harness, say, was a complete separate piece from your engine harness and from your tail light harness and so on. So let's say you had a problem with engine fire and you just needed to replace the engine harness. Well, then you could go ahead and buy the engine harness separate from everything else, plug it in to your fuse block, and you'd be back up and running, which is a really nice part of the factory harness. The other nice thing about these factory harnesses is there's no guesswork at all. All of your connectors are on there. Like I mentioned, this one here that plugs in, here's your connectors that go to your parking lights. These go to your alternator and so forth. Everything's there. They're all chased, and there's no question about how it connects. You've got your mounts where they screw on and everything else.
Yep, factory wire loom, it's all there. Hey, where can we go get it off the web?
So www.brotherstrucks.com is where you can go. Also, you can order a free catalog there, or you can just call us at 800-977-BROS.
In just a few weeks, Motorhead Garage fires up for 2020. Tons of great guests and lots of cool vehicles on tap once again this year. Stay tuned for more Performance TV presented by Topcoat.
All right, Performance TV people, time to check your automotive IQ. 17 million cars were sold in the U.S. in 2018. What percentage of those were plug-in electric cars? Was it 20, 10, 6, or 2? It was only 2%, but that's still a significant number. Over 340,000 in all. We'll be right back after this. Performance TV presented by Topcoat is brought to you by RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need. MGP caliper covers. Enhance your wheel appearance with MGP brake caliper covers. NH Oil Undercoating, the official oil-based rust prevention system. The joy of seating, custom aluminum racing seats and accessories. And by Topcoat, the best coatings in the world.
Welcome back to Performance TV presented by Topcoat. Now this one's backed by popular demand. We hope you enjoy it.
Wouldn't it be great if you could reverse engine wear, make things new again? Well, Pasha from Tribotex is back, and that is exactly what you have developed. First off, how did this all come about?
When I started my PhD research, we was working on biomedical implants for knees and hips, and we looked at the very safe materials that can reduce wear in those vital parts. And the material, it's nanoparticles that are flat and have two different sides. But one side is sticky, another is slippery. So a sticky side attaches to a surface and slippery form a film. And particle by particle, they build up to compensate for the wear that was accumulated there for decades.
So thinking about medical devices, you can build an engine a lot easier than you can go in and do surgery on a person. That's why this is so important and why the technology evolved. But then you guys figured out engines, perfect application.
In the engine, results actually, in fact, better, and the distance to the market happened to be already 10 years. So we started research in 2009, now it's 2020, and we are happy to kind of enjoy the fruits of our labor.
You've got an engine that is worn, it's got miles on it, but you want to bring things back with Tribotex. Walk us through.
Many people who look at the classic cars, look at the high-performance cars, love their current car and wanted to keep longer, looking into coming out of the winter, and they hear more noises in the engine, and they think, what I can do to make it quieter, make it a little bit better. Okay, I'll replace filters, I do maintenance. Tribotex, it's a next step to rewind time on that wear on the critical components. Interesting example, if you have bearing, and typical bearing is round, right? Over time it wears up and become elliptic, and shafts start to vibrate in that area, and you hear it as a regular noise. So every time when it hits, it creates click sound, and when it hits 1,000 times per minute, right, it creates noise. So every time when the particles delivered there, they attached, and over time, layer by layer by layer, these particles shrink bearings back where they was before.
Now the particles, nanoparticles, something that we've heard a lot about if we spend any time reading, but can you illustrate how they work for people who are thinking, well, how does this work in an engine? How does a nanoparticle fill in what is normal engine wear?
Any soft metal, any borates or anything can fill in grooves, but none of them goes on top of the asperities. So if you want to build flat surface up, you have to do something special, and we have exactly that special feature. So on that special feature, let me show with the little prop I have here in the form of the sticky knots. So when you get the sticky knot and attach it to a surface one by one, it's only going to attach by one sticky side, and slippery always going to be on top. So particle by particle, they form a film that is not going to be perfect and uniform and all aligned. It's going to have gaps and pores, and those gaps and pores are going to be filled with lubricants, just like a synovial fluid in your joint. And that structure have remarkable properties. So first of all, it builds itself up when the vibration happens. Second, when the shock or impact happen, when sudden load or combustion, right, that film compacts itself and it emits a little bit of the lubricant, just like a synovial fluid. That is remarkable.
You've got it for gas engines, you've got it for diesel engines, but you've also got something new now for transmissions.
Releasing transmission edition on crowdfunding platforms, and then it's going to go to retail. And transmission is actually easier to make than engine. Engine have all kind of different friction interfaces, but transmission is pretty much steel on steel. And results we see in transmissions are dramatic, especially in CVTs, in regular automatic ones, and in manual gearboxes. We have two products, one for automatic, one for manual.
Well, it's very interesting. If you're interested in reducing or reversing wear, you're going to want to check them out. So many people have already. Pasha, thank you so much. We've got more Performance TV presented by Topcoat coming up after this.
Electric-powered vehicles are becoming more popular these days, but the concept isn't exactly new. William Morrison created the first successful electric vehicle back in 1887. Morrison's electrified buggy was a big hit at the 1893 World's Fair in Chicago. Its 4-horsepower motor could propel the vehicle to 20 miles an hour with a range of 50.
Performance TV coming from Borla Commerce Park.
Welcome back to Performance TV. If you are a painter, if you are building something and you really need a clean room, well, that's what we have for you here today with our friends from Mobile Environmental Solutions. And Tom, we're so used to seeing your bigger unit that you bring in. What size is that again?
That one's our 23 by 15. That's our most popular size. That's the one that you can put a crew cab short bed truck in, almost every style car. And then we built a 30 by 15 that's just one section longer.
And of course we know about the really big ones. I mean, you guys are even involved in the aviation industry.
Absolutely. We build them big enough for the military to put Apache helicopters in. We build them for the trucking industry to build semis in, semi-trailers.
Right.
You name it, we can build it for it.
You guys have exactly what we need. Now, there are two different sizes here today, but they're much smaller and more compact.
Correct. What we brought today was our 10 by 10 and then our 12 by 12. And it's the nice thing about it is it just takes up a very small footprint. But let's say you need a clean room for engine building or anything like that.
Right.
Or you just need to spray parts or something. You don't want to get your whole shop trashed up. You want to keep your environment clean and be environmentally friendly.
These do not take that long to put up, and especially the smaller sizes, they're going to go up really quick.
They go up less than a couple minutes. They each run off a 110 blower.
Okay.
You just turn around, hook it up, air it up, and you're ready to go.
They're made out of material that's really going to last right here in the USA.
Correct. It is. It's 100% vinyl. It passes the NFPA's Method 1 to Method 2 test method. Each booth passes OSHA's airflow requirements. Like for an example, the 10 by 10 that's right behind you, that one has 72 air changes an hour. That's moving a lot of air. And they are made for outside. They've got D-rings where you can stake them down. They've got D-rings up on the top corners if you want to hang them from a carport, if you want to use them indoors and hang them from the rafters. I mean, the options are limitless.
Wow, you know, what about with the wind and stuff outside?
That's the neat thing about our design is we have a U-shaped foundation that makes it extremely stable. And then once you stake it down, it's going to be even more stable in the upper, higher wind environments.
How about storage?
Neat thing about it is you turn around, you pull the plug, you let the air out, and you can have it rolled up within 10 minutes easily.
With these being smaller, how much do they weigh?
The one right behind you is about 120 pounds, and you can turn around, it's going to roll up no bigger than a big sleeping bag.
That's really not that big of a deal at all, and you can just move it right around, be able to take it out on the job, or keep it inside your building if you need that special place to work. Now, what type of warranty do you guys have on these?
Each booth comes with a 1-year stitch-to-stitch warranty, and the neat thing about it is if you mess up a panel, if you mess anything up, each panel is replaceable, so your structure's not compromised.
That's going to make a big difference because unfortunately accidents do happen and you need to be able to repair something like that. And you guys, with being right here in the United States, it's real easy to get in touch with you if we have any issues.
It is very easy. We're all over social media. We're all over our website. We have reps all across the United States, and the booths are made here in the United States. So you know if the service is going to be taken care of after the sale.
Absolutely. What other uses can you see for smaller units like this? I mean, I know you've come across some other industries as well.
We've got guys, a lot of people are looking at using it ceramic coating, you know, where you need to get that paint perfection. You need that paint to be perfect before you apply that ceramic coating.
Right.
You know, it's a lot of stuff is doing window tint. We've got a company that does bulletproof window tint that has to have a clean room, has to have a clean environment, and these are perfect for them.
Tom, give us an idea of some of the success stories that your customers have had with your units.
I just met with an auction house last week that they're going through an extremely big remodel. I mean, obviously you can imagine a used cars running through auction and lease returns, that they couldn't just turn around and slow down their production to make their reconditioning center bigger. So they purchased 3 booths and they used them when they were going through their remodel. It lasted about 6 months, but it helped them achieve their $75 million budget. Something like that's pretty huge. The boost paid for themselves within a week or two. And I mean, something like that is a pretty big feather to put in our hat.
You know, and a lot of people have been able to start a mobile business because of having a unit such as yours. And now with the smaller units, this is just amazing. It opens up even more for people just like you.
Time now for the lowdown with Magic Creeper.
You know, Joe, we don't always get to do stuff in our nice garage in the studio. Sometimes we need to get down on the ground and try to, you know, not mess up your shirt.
Absolutely. You're on the side of the road. Who knows what the conditions are? When you got the Magic Creeper, you've always got a little bit of protection between you and the ground. And more importantly, it's easy to get underneath the vehicle.
That's right, because you don't have to worry about the clearance issue. If you had a regular creeper out here, that's not going to be rolling over this. You're going to get stuck, everything else, but not with the Magic Creeper.
They recommend you keep it rolled up at all times. That's the way it is stored. Some people put it flat. Bad idea. You keep it rolled up. You can use it as a knee pad if you're working on a tire on the side of the road. Then again, when it's time to go underneath the vehicle, you just pop it open.
That's right.
Roll it out.
That's right. Kind of pull it away, sit on the edge, roll out just a little bit, so that way you are going to stay on the clean part of the Magic Creeper, and then you can roll right under like Joe. You can even kind of move back and forth, around side to side. But where you are staying clean. The creeper is what is going to get dirty, and if it does for some reason, very easy to clean off.
We're good to go. Magic Creeper. Be sure to get the authentic and real Magic Creeper.
That's right. Go to their website at magiccreeper.com.
And by the way, they also have a roadside kit with extra safety features. If you happen to get stuck on the side of the road, you can pick that up at magiccreeper.com as well.
The Indianapolis Motor Speedway covers over 250 acres. Just to put that into perspective, everything on this list could fit inside the 2.5-mile track with room to spare. Or, if you'd rather, 3 Disneyland parks could fit into the infield. Amazingly, Indy cars can lap all of it in just under 40 seconds. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more from the Performance TV studio right after this. Performance TV, presented by Topcoat, is brought to you by Stage 8 Fasteners, home of the world's best locking header bolts. Locking kits now available for all turbo applications. Go to stage8.com. Custom Auto Sound, the originator of classic car OEM fit radios since 1977. Top Lift Pros, now you can live outside the box with Top Lift Pros. Socket Straps, keep your tools within reach. And by Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever.
Hey, we're back with more of Performance TV. You may remember on a previous episode that we had the folks in from Topcoat, and we did all kinds of really cool stuff to our Mustang, to the motorcycles, and to the truck that we have behind us. But Scott, we didn't get a chance to really finish our projects.
We certainly didn't, yeah.
And see how the F11 product works.
True, yeah, absolutely, because there was so much you can do with this product. And of course, when you're shooting, you don't have the time necessary, but that's exactly what we did.
Yeah, you know, like on the Mustang. I mean, we did the stuff on the interior. We did, you know, stuff on the outside of the car.
Yes.
The bikes.
Amazing.
Yeah, because you could do everything from the Lexan on the bikes all the way through. And we're going to get to that here in just a moment because I kind of want to see how it's turned out.
Sure, sure.
But this work truck?
Yeah.
This doesn't even look like the same truck that rolled in when we first started to work on it.
Well, it was interesting because while we were filming, we said, you know, we're going to do some more on the truck. And as you know, it certainly didn't look like this. And but pretty much what we did is we did all the fenders here, the panels, we did the glass, we did the plastics and so forth. We even did one of the rims just to show the stark difference between the two, correct? But also the running gear, the plastics, the chrome. I mean, we pretty much did everything, including your windshield and about half of the windshield on the inside, just to show those stark differences. As you can see, the one great thing about the product is the more it cures, the more resilient it gets, and the more shiny you're going to see.
Right. You know, and what I really like about the windshield, too, is because of the properties that F11 has, you're not going to use your windshield wipers quite as much anymore either.
That's correct. It is extremely hydrophobic, and which makes for, you know, heavy rain, whatever, you know, heavy elements. Everything just beads off, zips off that windshield so quickly. It's a lifesaver. I make sure my kids, at least, if they're going to do something, do your windshield.
Well, we've seen what we can do with F11 on the outside of the truck.
We did the outside right. Well, now we're moving to the inside because if you notice here, we've got the carpet, obviously different materials, and the sill. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to spray it down like, now watch this. You just spray directly on it. Don't worry about it. And I'm using a little more here because it is dirty, obviously. If it wasn't as dirty, I wouldn't use as much.
Okay.
And now I'll take this and watch this. Now you see all that dirt. Now obviously you want to vacuum, you want to clean the bulk of it out. I mean, I don't know if you can see that in that camera, but that's night and day. And imagine doing the whole interior that way.
Amazing what the F11 product can do, and we definitely have that on the bike. Just take a look at the seat.
Isn't that incredible?
That is just amazing. And of course, you know, look at the engine.
Yeah.
You're able to use the F11 product on absolutely everything.
And no heat issues.
And no heat issues. You can see on the tank where the F11 was used,
Yes.
where it was not, and even right down to the front fender.
Yeah, the before and afters is incredible. And it's a denim finished bike.
Right, and the F11 product is eco-friendly. It is water-based, no VOCs.
Right.
We don't have to worry about anything with our hands when we're using the product.
That's right.
And it's just amazing. We don't have to have 10, 11 products to be able to detail.
And the more you use, the better the results, the better it gets. From cleaning to less maintenance, all the above. I mean, look at this bike. Look at that shine. And that's with one coat. Can you imagine what that'll look like with a couple more coats?
And we have to remind the folks that didn't get a chance to see, we used it from front to back, and that includes the Lexan window.
Yeah.
But that's not all you can do with F11. Just about any surface that you can possibly think of, Scott, and we certainly see that here on the Mustang under the hood.
From the plastics to your metals, everything. You can even spray it, close the hood, and come back 2 hours later. But at the end of the day, spray it, wipe it, and this is what you get.
Yeah, and we can see one side.
Yes.
And the other side is, you know.
Literally striking difference, yes. Yeah, I mean, you can see all that dirt, how it was. You know, we didn't hose it, we didn't clean it before. We just literally sprayed the product in there, and that's what you get.
Stainless paint, glass, rubber, anything you can possibly think of. You can go to their website and find out more about the product.
Well, we are out of time for this episode. And you know what? That's going to give me a little time to do some routine maintenance here on the company vehicle. If you have a product or an idea you want to see on Performance TV, be sure to email Jeff at masterstv.com. Also, be sure to check us out on Facebook.
Filling in on Performance TV has me all ready to go full time, and we are just a few weeks away from the 2020 premiere of Motorhead Garage. Have a great week, and be sure to tune in next time to Performance TV presented by Topcoat.